I was reminded of this recently when I met my new neighbour. A couple of weeks ago I gave a challenge as we were talking about the fact that we were to reach others and that the gospel was to go out to all nations. And we were thinking about, I said, well, let's start with the people closest to us. Let's start with our neighbours. And I encouraged you, if you don't know your neighbour's name, go and introduce yourself to your neighbour and say g'day. So we have new neighbours. They moved in about 2 weeks ago. And so I went and met my neighbour. His name's Al. Nice guy, Al. And so yesterday when I was driving home from somewhere and Al was out on the street and I just wound down the window and said g'day and said, how's it all going? And you're moving in? And he says, oh yeah, we love it. We love it. He says, I said, do you think you're going to be here for a little while or for a long time? He says, I think this is going to be our forever home. He said, the view is spectacular. And I said, I get a bit of a view from my pool deck. I said, but I'd love to see what your view's like. He said, come on over. So I went and parked the car and back I went over to see the view with Al, my neighbour, who I've just met in the last 2 weeks. And you know what? From the moment I walked into his backyard, he started telling me all the things, the plans he had for his reno. He's going to put a new shed and granny flat in, and how he's going to do all these earthworks and put in a retainer to lift up so he can use more of the property, and all the trees he wants to plant, all the trees he wants to cut out, all the things he wants to do. And as he was saying these things, do you know what I saw in his eyes? Excitement, life, hope. The thought of renovating his home gave him a purpose. It gave him a reason. It sparked his enthusiasm. And I think that's what God was doing with Judah as they were walking into exile. He's saying, it's okay. I'm putting some hope out in front of you. I'm giving you some spark, some reason to live, something to hold on to as you go through what you're about to walk through. I'm giving you a purpose. Nothing gives us a reason to get out of bed like the hope of the thing we're working on, our project, our plan, the thing that we're doing. Whether it's a renovation or a holiday or a family legacy, a community goal, future plans keep us motivated. In fact, if you don't plan for anything, you won't do anything. And if you don't aim at anything, you're sure to hit it. God knows this. That's why he gives us this future vision, not just of survival, but of a reborn earth.